So good afternoon, everyone. As I have informed in advance, today we have Mr. Biraja Prasad Raut with us, who is going to share his success stories, how he started Biggies Burger and all. Before that, I just want to inform everyone that how it all started and how Biraja sir has started. He has completed his B.Tech from Silicon Institute of Technology. And after his completions of B.Tech, he joined first in Infosys company. Banwar, we would take your call once the meeting is in progress, and we'll start with the Q&A round. After Infosys, he joined with HCL Technologies. So, like every student, he started his career. He joined with big multinational companies, and here after HCL, he started his own firm. And if I make it right, that this is how he started his journey. Biggest Burger is claimed to be one of a burger company which made its niche into health segment and as well as catering the need of the people, those who look for junk food. So there was one point I have collected informations that the first day he started selling 34 burgers, and now per month he's selling 75,000 burger, and he's aiming to make it big, 2 lakh burger per month. So how he all started and all this information should be shared by our speaker Biraja Rao sir with you shortly. But before that, the testimonials, he had a lot of testimonials. I selected these two testimonials. One, I would highlight Karthik. Uh, Karthik, the testimonial, he did not mention about anything about Biraja, but he highly praised the product quality, and he's looking forward for the future of this Biggest Burger. And same about Somesh Behra, he talked about Biraja sir, one of his key skill, which is team management. So shortly I'm going to hand over Biraja sir to you, and I would open the floor to you all for your queries. And then this is one of the talk which is being recorded by 10 crore club, and where he also shared informations with the listeners, with the viewers, about how to cater the needs, and of course how startups can go and have fundings and run their own startup. And this is one biggest media coverage for Biggest Burger by Times India. And this is what again we have shared, and we can see with the bootstrapping of 1 lakh rupees, now Biggest Burger is big as any other burger companies. Burger means we know Burger King, KFC, McDonald, and all. And now we have Biggest Burger with us, which is very much important. And yes, along, he's going to start with us how he started his venture, uh, how he achieved, what is his journey. And along with that, I would like to really request Biraja sir to address few of these, challenges which was highlighted by a student, and which we think is very much relevant for everyone. So I'm just handing over this to you, Biraja sir, and the students, all the participants are you. You can drive the way you want to. And with this, I also welcome Biraja sir to our webinar. Thank you, and thank you for accepting my request for the same. Looking forward to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Madhusmita, for the brief on my profile, and I'm really glad to be a part of this conversation where 137 people are there, and I'm really happy about the source or the intent of entrepreneurship that is coming from your college and along with the students. So I don't want the session to be very informative or very formal. I want it to be more casual and more interactive. So I would request anyone and everyone, if you have any concerns, if you feel like asking of anything, don't hesitate. Uh, Behave as if I'm sitting next to you. Feel close to us and let us know if any concerns are there. So at the start of the thing, so I'll divide it into three parts. Probably at the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes, I'll give a brief on Biggie's Burger. What are we today? And at a brief intro, I'll not take a lot of time. The second session, I would like to have the next 15 minutes on more of the questions, common questions that we can find in the chat box. So I would request everyone to put questions in the chat box, And if anyone has any specific thing, you can unmute and ask me. Though we do have 140 people, we cannot give everyone a scope. And the ending part would be definitely one intention of this conference, or this meeting, e-meeting, is that we ignite the entrepreneurship skill among all these 140 people. Hope the plan sounds good, and I'm sharing the deck for the first phase. I believe my screen is visible, right? Madhusmita, can you confirm the screen is visible or not? Hello. Can anyone confirm if the screen is amazing?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Thanks, Raj. Okay, great. So as you can see in the screen, so typically Biggie's Burger, the brand took its birth in 2011, and that was my first year of job. So post 2009, when I completed my engineering in Silicon, I was not a very merit student, I would say, though I did have my perception on and intelligence at a right quotient, but I was not a very merit student. I was not a bookish student. I was more of a practical person at that point of time, is what I understand. And I joined my job. I took a 1 year of delay to join Infosys because I was looking for other alternates of core jobs, because I was from electrical background. So I did not wanted to get into IT, which is not my core portfolio. So I had a clarity that I want to go to core, but I took 1 year. I did not find promising opportunities. Then I joined Infosys in 2010 March, and then I went for training, 6 months corporate job, corporate life. Everything was new but not relevant. When I say not relevant, they were not relevant to what I was liking or what I was intending to do, though they were beautiful. Getting into Infosys, as of today also, it's not one of the best companies, but it is still a good company to be at, and it makes you learn about the SOPs. So 2011 I came to Bangalore with my first deployment, and I was deployed with an MNC client called RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland was my client. And I was working on the client's portfolio in an offshore channel. But I was not getting that kick of doing justifying my role or responsibilities rightly. And uh, typically Biggest Burger was a weekend secondary source of revenue for me, or an experiment for me. I was 21 then, so I had a lot of amount of time to do experiment. So during in IT, generally we get 2 days leave. So I thought of doing something where I can experiment a lot. And being from Odisha, I'll be very honest, in 2010, Odisha did not have a burger player. And when I came to Bangalore and I tried some of the local burger players, I was actually amazed by the product. I was surprised that this type of product is there until 21 years of old. I never tried a product like this. Then I thought, okay, fine. If I have to do, being an Oriya, I can do a dahi vada shop, or I can do a puri upma shop, or I can do a biryani shop. But I did not do anything. I thought of taking a new challenge of coming up with a burger store. And that point of time, doing a chain or all these things was never in mind, because I have started with a very minimal amount of 1.5 lakh rupee investment. So the first kiosk I set up bang opposite my office so that I can monitor both the things. And from 2011, the first kiosk was 25 square feet. It was a 5 by 5 typical in Oriya language, what we call thela. And today we are scattered at least 30,000 square feet of area. And as and when I speak, we are the largest Indian homegrown brand. So the moment we think of going out, we think of Domino's, we think of Pizza Hut, we think of KFC, we think of McDonald's. But none of these brands are Indian. So every brand is a foreign brand that is catering to Indian consumer. So the vision that I carried after some time was to create an Indian legacy Indian brand. And today I can proudly say that we cater to more than a lakh people every month. So so at
I request, sir, one second. I request the students to put on mute. AP campus student, kindly put yourself on mute. If you're talking, please make yourself mute. And co-host Krishna, kindly see it.
thank you. So as a chain, we are now scattered at 67 locations of India. We are proudly the largest Indian burger chain. And the competition that we are trying to create is with Burger King, that is a US based brand. And at this point of time, we are located at 27 cities of India, majorly in South and East India. And very recently, we have been to West and we are going to North India as well. Out of this 27 cities, at 10 plus cities, we are treated as the best burger serving player. And the source of revenue for the brand is multi-channel. We do have dining option, we do have takeaway and delivery options as well. So I'll not give you a lot of business related stuffs. I would like to tell you about how to start the entrepreneurship skill set or how to start the journey. I believe most of the students who are over here will be below 20, 21 years old. And I believe this is the right time to give a shape to your dream, to do things which you feel like doing. And if you fail also, there is no problem, because every failed story will make you learn about a lot of things. So being very honest, I started in 2011, but till 2016 every single month I was into losses. Why? Because neither me nor my family had a business earlier. I was a first generation business person. And being a first generation business person, it was really tough to understand what are the sentiments that business carries, what are the parameters or what are the checkpoints that business carries. But doing a job in Infosys definitely helped me in creating scope of work and SOPs. A lot of SOPs were being created. So as a company, maybe day one we did not have the right SOP, but as and when we grew, as and when the aspiration for creating a national brand grew, at this point of time I can proudly say we employ more than 500 people across India directly or indirectly, and we do adhere to 1,500 plus SOPs. So the first and foremost thing is you need to have a right reason, a right pain point that you identify. Madhusmita, there is a lot of noise.
Participant, I request kindly mute yourself. Abhipsha, kindly mute. Otherwise, we have to put you on the waiting room. Kindly mute yourself.
Yeah. As you can see in the screen, what is inherited? So inheritance is very crucial for business. Either you come from a business background or you get into a business education like an MBA or something, or the third and the toughest option is you inherit everything by yourself. So for me, it was the third option where I had to inherit everything on my own learning. So any business that we plan to do needs a strong determination, and along with that strong determination, you need to grow your capabilities and credibilities over a period of time. So learning is an inevitable thing that you have to carry throughout your life. So if you ask me, nowadays a lot of people are getting into OTT or watching a lot of movies. That's okay, but that should not be a habit. You should be spending more and more time on YouTube channels where you can learn about how entrepreneurship skill set is being groomed, or how can you give a shape to the dream that you're looking at. The second and foremost thing is SOP and technology. So as any brand, what is the difference between a local grocery shop and a big bazaar or a pantaloon? It's about the standard operating processes, and it's about the technology adoption. So at this point of time, I believe technology plays a vital role, where automation and everything plays a vital role. And automation is not always about hardware, it is about software as well. So we as an entrepreneur need to think of a 360-degree solution where we integrate SOPs with technology and automation. So as a company, I'm proud to say, being a food company, we do have 15 plus APIs in our network, which enables the product consistency at each level. Then, so when I say physical presence, so physical presence, if I have to relate to myself, it is the risk-taking appetite. I started my journey in Bangalore, but within no time I started the second store in Bhubaneswar because that was my native. and Bhubaneswar and Bangalore are scattered by 1,800 kilometers, which is quite a far distance. But I just wanted to take that risk to understand whether I can scale myself in two different demographics and territories or not. Though India is a single country, but if you go to west, east, south, north, everything is very different. The preferences, the choices are very different. So as an entrepreneur, you need to have the right skill set of taking risk as well. The third thing, market leader or the best burger tag, this is called aspiration. So as a burger brand from day one, the only aspiration that I had was to make the best burger consistently. It is not about the best burger, it is about the burger that I make has to be consistent. And that was my inspiration. Money, fame, and people, everything will follow that. So I can proudly say we are tagged, or we are famed as the best burger serving player at different cities of India. And we lead the grilled burger market by far in India by everyone. The one of the core important thing, competitiveness. So along with adoption or aspiration or technology and SOPs, you have to be competitive. How do you see your aspiration or adoption is as per the market standard, or not? So you need to have a right tap on what is going on in the market, and accordingly you have to be very competitive and you have to prepare yourself. So as an entrepreneur, I believe we cannot say we know everything at any point of time, because we are always having a mission of creating something new, something different. And that has to come from the environment, that has to come from the ecosystem. So being competitive is one of the core skill set. Next is diversified knowledge. So when I say diversified knowledge, to sell burger, if I know how to sell a good burger, I should be a chef. But if you notice, made by Bauxite or Wow Momo or any Indian brand you take, none of these brands are started or owned by a chef. Rather, they are owned by people who have diversified knowledge. They may not know how to make a good burger or a good momo, but they know how to create an ecosystem of 360-degree where the product can be made systematically scalable, in a scalable way, and it can adapt to the market. But this is what like Biggies has inherited, and this is what I as an entrepreneur have inherited, and I'm passing the same information and same skill set to my team members and to everyone. This is an old map. Typically, this is the old deck. So now we are present in Gujarat. Now we are present in Pondicherry. So this is how the biggest heat map looks like wherever we are present at. Now we are coming up in Mohali as well. And we are planning to take our burgers to Singapore and Sri Lanka as well. And taking to Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka are not something that uh, we desire to, or we are desperate about, but we will do. So being in Singapore is world's, I believe, the most cosmopolitan city, the most trending city. So if we are there, at least our knowledge level, our skill set, our awareness will increase, and what will be deploying in India and other markets as well. These are some of my stores, which are scattered in northeast and south. Sorry, not north, northwest and south. And very in no time we are going to North India. So probably we'll be bringing our footprints to 300 plus stores within 2023, making ourselves by far the largest burger chain of India. These are some of the reviews. So typically, these are the part of SOP. If you see the EBP image or the brand name or the product images in Pan India, you will be finding uniformity, and that is what is called your SOP. So if you see any of our packaging or any of our product, everything will have the same logo, same dimensions, same resemblances, and same background. So SOP is one of the core elements. These are some of the articles, some of the tie-ups. We are collaborated with TCS, we are collaborated with HP, Cell Petrol Pumps. We are collaborated with Startup India and all these things. So these are some of the corporate alliances that we have done. This is my team. So I started the brand in 2011. Till 2016, I was doing my job. And in 2016, Avilas and Sandeep, they are my franchises. So as a company, we grow through franchise network. We don't invest a lot of money into opening a store. We give our know-how and skill set to franchises, and they open stores. So they were my franchise initially, and in 2016 finally we took a call to leave our job and be full time available to Biggie's Burger. So I had the growth aspect and the product aspect. Vilas heads operations and Sandeep heads expansion. So this is how it has been. Yep, Dr. Madhusmita, I would like to take the questions from our students, or if anything specific from your end.
Okay. Thank you for the presentations and for the informations on Biggies. Do we have any questions, audience? Okay, so Virajaji, can I ask a question of mine?
Yeah,
The day I gone through your article, I had these questions on my mind. The thing is, you being claimed that this is a healthy burger. Burgers are definitely junk. How can you claim that this is healthy? Like,
okay. So typically, again, there is a story behind it. So in 2011, when I thought of starting Burger, definitely I had to do some research. Why Burger? At that point of time, there were a lot of articles, negative marketing happening against Burger because there was no market pivot to take it. You would see more articles saying burger is junk, but less articles saying pizza is not junk, right? Because it was the marketing strategy of pizza driving players like Domino's and Pizza Hut, who were already there in India, who wanted to defame other products and glorify pizzas. Typically burger is a global product. I'm not countering your question. Definitely burger has been projected as junk. So burger is called a singular meal. Typically, let's say we are eating rice, we need dal, we need sabji, we need rice, we need all these things to complete our meal. But with a burger, it's a single product meal, like pizzas, like biryani. You don't need anything else to complete the meal. It has carbohydrate in terms of the bread, it has protein in terms of the filling, it has salt and vegetable in terms of the antioxidants. So in India, McD has been tagged as the best burger player, and they sell fried. So the common notion of burger being a junk product is there in our mindset. To remove that, as a company, we started the first product, which was called Beamer. So in that product, just like you say, Jinger is KFC, Hooper is Burger King, the same way Beamer is Biggies. So that product is a whole baked product. So every fat, every meat has its own fat, and we create the oil out of the own fat. We don't add any oil to it, and we make a burger without zero external oil. So typically we use multigrain breads, we use preservative free sauces and fun product. So that makes your burger healthy. So it's just the perception. If burger would have been unhealthy, then the average life of Americans should not be 78 to 80, whereas Indians is 67 or 70, right?
Virajaji, we have our next question from our student. He asked, what inspired you, sir, for converting to food sector from corporate sector? Like I have seen you're working with HCL and Infosys, then you started here, and in your presentation you started that something that was not kicking you. So can you answer the questions of our student?
Okay. So the moment we are saying we are an entrepreneur, or we are a startup, maybe we are dealing with food is our vertical, but horizontals are different. So I have been highlighting about technology, APIs, adaptability, competitiveness. There are a lot of things. So if you ask me, when you go to a restaurant and you eat a burger or eat anything, as per survey, 18% is your food. Rest all is your ambience, your aesthetic, your behavioral study, your essence. So there are a lot of other things. So today we are not a hawker where food talks everything. We are trying to create a QSR brand, quick service, so we have very less amount of time to impress the consumer. So more than food, the flow of preparing the food, processing the food, making it scalable, making it consistent, making it equal or ideal at across 6,000 kilometers. So if you calculate from Pondicherry to Bokaro to Kolkata to, if you cover all my outlets, it's more than 6,000 kilometers, which is whole the Europe. So typically, we work on food division, just like, let's say you have brands like Lyceus or Bauxite. Bauxite is started by an IITian. Sagar is a chartered accountant. He has started a Momo brand. He doesn't do momos. He ensures that momos are technically SOP wise adopted and scaled at different locations. So typically we do the job of making organized QSRs, removing unorganized players from the market.
Okay. Nice. Hope Uday, you got your query solved, answered. There is a next question. As you have mentioned that in the initial days you have a lot of losses. So his question is particular to that: how you overcome those losses.
Okay, I believe you did not hear it properly. I was doing job for 6 months, 6 years, right? Whoever has asked. So definitely there was I was getting paid by my salary. I had the option of going abroad. I have been working with decent clients. I have switched my jobs 4 times. Madhusmita could not track that. So I have been working with IBM and HP in between.
Ooh.
So I have jumped my salaries to a decent level where I was able to take care of my losses.
Okay, so that means your losses are from your pockets, from the salary you have earned.
Yep. So typically that was my sweat. That was my sweat income in terms of equity that I was getting.
Okay. There is a next question regarding same thing. I think this is related to the chains. What are the steps you take when you're planning to open new branches? So I think probably some research in other state or city. So where you start and why you start, kind of thing. If I'm right,
Yeah.
Gautam.
So primarily as a franchise company, as a franchise driven company, first 30 outlets are very crucial for us. And as we are bootstrapped and we don't have funds to carry on, we need fuel. We need every month some funds to come. So my franchise decides which city they have to open, and we decide whether the city has a potential or not. So we take the anyone can ask me always, after Bangalore, why Odisha? After Odisha, why Raipur? Why Bhubaneswar to Raipur? Why not near to Bangalore? There are a lot of other cities. In Bangalore, you can open 30 outlets. But at that point of time, I was not getting 30 franchises at Bangalore. So my franchise queries were coming from Raipur, Indore, Bhubaneswar, all this Cuttack, all these territories, maybe Gulbarga and Bangalore as well. So initially, we have to adopt to the requirements of the ecosystem. Now, if you ask me, I choose where to go. We choose which states to go and where to go, and we choose where the demand of the product has a consistent amount of volume. So we do a decent market survey before entering to any city. We foresee whether we do have a consumer base there or not. So for example, we opened in Jamshedpur. From the first month, we did 2x of what we expected. We never thought we'll do that good. But Jamshedpur was a new city. But as a brand, we are very popular there because a lot of Jamshedpur people knows Biggies through Bhubaneswar and Cuttack outlets and Kolkata outlets. So we are surrounded by everything. Only Jamshedpur was left. So when we got into Jamshedpur, the numbers were skyrocket.
I have a query in my mind. Rajkumar asked the same question: why you only chose burger other than any food item? I think you have already answered. It is
Yeah.
his passion. He chose burger than other business. So I request students to type in other queries in the meanwhile.
I would rectify that. That was not a passion, that was a challenge.
Okay.
So typically, being very honest, till 2011 or 12, Odisha did not have a burger player. Till now we don't have a category.
Kindly mute yourself. 1 second. Birajaji, I'm muting all. And 1 second. I'm again unmuting you. Sorry.
No worries.
Fine. So my next question related to this. Let's say we are at Centurion University. We have a lot of campuses, and you said that you made a thorough market survey before entering into any city, and after Bangalore, Odisha, and after that Raipur. So you might have done your own research and all. Let's say if any student of our wanted to open a franchisee, then what would be the cost of the entire franchisee? Like, if you want to highlight that maybe our students are potentialities and
Okay, so typically I don't want to give a franchise pitch here, but we don't call our franchise as a franchise. We call them entrepreneurs who are looking for a leverage. So typically the whole and sole agenda of Biggest Burger is to create a set of 1,000 entrepreneurs who will be owning 5,000 restaurants. So this is how MacD or Subway have grown and outgrown. There are some franchises and food entrepreneurs up there who are richer than the company as well. So now coming to answer your question in a direct language. So typically we look forward for good energies, young minds, and diversified skill set people who has the passion about owning a franchise, who takes the pride of being associated with us, and who is the right team member. So team is very important. And primarily, our franchise cost brackets around 20 to 28 lakhs per franchise,
okay, so like
with
what
an
would be
ROI
okay,
with an
return on
ROI of
investment?
18 to 20.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what would be the basic investment, like, so after this talk, if some students wanted to be part of, what would be the
I'm
minimum
saying like
investment?
is 20-25 lakhs is the minimum investment that starts with.
Okay,
Yep.
right. So anyone has questions? Other question? Challenges you have been faced by customer at starting. Okay, at the how do you handle your customer at the beginning? Am I right? Is the question, Rajkumar? How you face challenges to convince the customer to take up your product?
I would say it was not challenging, rather it was aspiring,
Okay,
because I devoted whole and soul of mine to make that one burger. So initially, most of my customers were happy because every burger probably I was next to the guy who was preparing and noticing how is he preparing. So it was a lot of appreciation. What happens at start of any journey? You don't earn money. Most of the journeys you earn appreciation, and that is your fuel. So for me also, when a customer is saying, "Wow, your burger is good," that is my earning for the day. I may not earn out of the galla or out of the deck anything, but that appreciation is good. So now what happened on the course of improvement? So from a 25 square feet kiosk, when we moved to 1,000 square feet store, definitely customers expected, if we are sitting, if we are dining, there need to be have some beverages, some sides, some platters. But again, we cannot do a grocery shop of having everything. So we chose our product very carefully, which will gel with our concept.
okay. My question related to these lines: what is your cost for acquiring a new customer, and the same for a repeat customer?
Amazing. So typically, as a brand, we are known as a peer-to-peer marketing or peer-to-peer promoting brand. We don't do rigorous advertisements. The first reason is we are bootstrapped. The second reason is we are at places where there are very few grill burger or big burger players. So the customer acquisition cost, if you ask me, on online level, it is around 19 to 20 rupees. And for repeat customer, we don't invest anything again back on them. It's all about the product that they come for. But our repeat customer behavior is 62%. So out of 100 people, 62% of people becomes our repeat consumer.
Okay. You yourself is an engineer, and we have few engineering student also, those who are learning economics, part of this. So what is that you would advise to these engineers, like in terms of business and in terms of, all this thing, challenges to overcome?
So I would say, I would take it other way. Had I been now 19 or 20 years old, what different I would have done,
Yeah,
right?
great.
So I would say I would have started my entrepreneur journey little early. I would and definitely go for a job, learn some corporate experiences, because at some time we feel that we know everything, and that happens in 20 to 25 years old. If you ask me, I know nothing, I'll say. So definitely get into a good company where you can learn processes, where you can learn corporate structure, where you can learn what you are not aware of throughout your life. And parallelly you take a risk of dreaming, fulfilling your dream with starting the thing. Because post 25, what happens is in Indian society, we are asked to be married, and the risk taking appetite reduces. So 19 to 25 is the key time where along our learning has to be very important. Each and every second or minute that we are spending has to give back something to us. Because if you want to see a movie or a series, there is no end. We can see after we are 37 or 30, but our mind will not groom after that 19 to 25 years. So invest your time rightly. And nowadays, I believe at our time, I'm not too old, but 10 years back, we did not have the access of a lot of applications, or a lot of channels were not there in YouTube. Now entrepreneurship is Make in Odisha, Make in India. There are a lot of portfolios skilled in Odisha. So being entrepreneur has been an easy task, but being a successful entrepreneur is still a challenge.
Uh, my next question related to this: you have started your venture as a private limited format, or you have started something else and later on you have converted it to private limited format?
So as I was working till 2016, it was a proprietorship firm. I
Profits.
am not allowed to do anything outside my job as per the legal proceedings. So in 2016, we formed it as a private limited.
Okay. So which format would be best? Like, you would recommend a new startup, like students who are starting early should open, keeping funding in mind.
So typically, I would say, first of all, your idea has to come. Ideation phase. A lot of people have a lot of good ideas, but good ideas are not good businesses. So your idea has to be fluid. It has to take motion. It has to take a shape. Till then, you don't worry about whether it is a private limited, or so don't waste your time in compliances of private limited initially. Your 124/7 100% of effort should go into fulfilling or making your idea into a rolling stage, into a revenue generation stage. After your revenue flows, then you can make a private limited or whatever.
One more question from the student: what are the best suggestions for starting startups, or maybe areas where students can pitch in?
Wherever you feel like you are good at. Like there is no like people are selling momos and making a company of 2,300 crore. People are selling what you say, mud, and making a company of 5,000 crore. So you have to think of what you are good at. Either you are good at innovation, product, what attracts you. So typically burger attracts me a lot. So I find my skill set, though I am not from a food background, or I got to know about what is a burger in 21 years, but I had a high amount of attraction towards the product. So you need to find your crust.
Okay. Uday, hope Virija ji have answered your queries. Anyone else have some queries? So still you look for investments, or you have your own investment as of now? Also, you said you start with bootstrapping. So now you probably have some investment options, or investors looking forward to invest in your
Yeah,
own.
yeah. We have investors not only from India. We have investors from Singapore as well. So as a company, we're an invested company. People invest through franchising as well. So if you ask me, I have 67 franchises. So all are my investors. I have three investors. So they are my mentors. So definitely we need right set of team and fund as and when. So typically the first stage is to prove yourself. If you can run the idea, then you are proving yourself.
Nirupama has a question. Do you have your in-house marketing team or any PR agencies?
Both.
Okay, Dinesh is a query. How to do market your product in starting phase, except from food, for example, handicraft product, how to market your product in the initial?
So you have to market with the right customer, right? Let's say I approach a customer who is not fond of burger. Let's say my first outlet in Odisha was Kit Road. If I open the first outlet in let's say Nayagarh or Fulbani, my product would have failed. So you have to identify where your customers are there and create a niche customer. Let's say create first 100 customer who talks about you when they think of the product. I think that is called proofing of your concept, POC.
So at Bhubaneswar, you have only one outlet as of now?
As of now, we have four.
Four. Okay. What are the locations? In fact, some Bhubaneswar students want to
Yeah.
go.
Then Kit Road, ITR, some hospital, and
Okay.
Sahid Nagar.
Sahid Nagar.
We
Great.
are coming up at in Kotak. We have two stores. We are coming up at Bargad, Baleswar, Jharsuguda, Raurkela, Sambalpur, Udhampur. So all these locations are lined up.
Okay, great. Any other question, guys? So, Birijaji, what would be your closing line for our students? If you want to give any, a few pitch or like 1 or 2 minutes talk, closing lines, which would, attract students to be part of this entrepreneurial venture.
So I would say, if your dream of the venture is getting fulfilled in a month, then it's a weak venture. So run for something which makes you run for a good amount of time, gives you a lot of learning, so that at the end of the journey, if you don't earn money out of it, you earn experience out of it. So patience is one of the invaluable skill set that you need to have.
True. So, thank you, Virajaji, for your time. And of course, sharing your informations about the form and answering few of the queries. Is taking Mudra loan is okay? Okay, so can we consider this is the last query?
No, we can take up. I
Okay.
think Dinesh has come up with a very beautiful question. Once at that point of age, I did not know what is a mudra loan. Maybe that was not there. So it's good that these things are coming up. So definitely mudra loan you should take up. These schemes. So every government has a subsidy fund or has a fund separated which they keep for entrepreneurship. So I take mudra loan not for fulfilling your option of buying a mobile or something. Take mudra loan to invest on your business. Definitely, yes.
But for that funding part, you have to register if you are part of Odisha. It need to be registered with Startup Odisha and all.
I
The
think now
formats are completely different, I believe.
no. With a single window clearance today is earlier we did not know what is VAT. At our time it used to be VAT, right?
Value added
Yeah,
tax.
now it is GST. So you have to understand the ease of business has been very swift. In last 10 years, it has been, I believe, 1/20th of what pain you used to take to run a business. So nowadays everything can be done over your laptop.
Great. Thank you. Nirupama, what about your customer retention rate? I think he has answered 62 or 68%. He has answered.
62% is our customer retention something. We are looking forward to improve it.
Great. A 62 is also a very good number.
Yeah. So as we don't spend a lot on marketing, you never find a radio ad or a TV ad or newspaper ad because we don't have a lot of money now. Maybe if in future we will bring some Bollywood star to endorse our brand. So at this point of
I
time, our
wish.
product is everything. Yeah.
I wish all the best. Hopefully, we will see maybe Shah Rukh Khan with Biggest Burger a day or Katrina Kaif advertising for Biggest Burger. So I'm extremely thankful for your time, wisdom, and knowledge you share. And yes, students, those who have joined from other campus as well, asked quality questions and make this as successful. I wish everyone to be part of a venture, whatever you like to, Biggest Burger is there in share market. Oh, okay. IPO, he's talking about IPOs. Have you opened about?
Well, we will be going IPO 2025 is the target.
Okay.
Yep.
So 2025, Uday, you can buy shares of Biggies Burger. So first,
I will,
your total addressable market.
my total addressable market size is the QSR size is 4 lakh crores in India as of today, growing at a 28% CAGR. So we are expecting. So the market size is so huge that we need hundreds of biggest burger in Indian ecosystem. So don't worry about the market size.
I believe Nirupama can solve these issues by becoming a franchisee, and hope you heard the franchisee cost. So I believe you would able to do that. Any other question before we bid a final farewell to our speaker? Okay.
Dr. Madhusmita, with your permission, I would like to say a few words, if it's okay with you.
Please carry
Yeah.
on.
Hi, Viraja. This is Somit Ukil here. I guess you can see me now.
Hello, sir.
It was a great pleasure attending this program. I got actually egged on to attending it by Dr. Madhusmita. I am the director of the School of Management at Centurion University. It has really been a great pleasure. Madhusmita, I hope I'm not taking over your punchline.
No. Please, sir. Please carry on.
It has actually been a great pleasure listening to your how you have come from scratch to where you are today. I'm a great fan. Actually, I'm not. My daughter is a great fan of your Biggies Burgers.
Thank you. Sir.
That's how I got to know about you guys. And
Thank
it was really a great pleasure to know how you people have come up from where you were to where you are today. And we really would want to see you, go international, Singapore, Sri Lanka, UAE. The world is a very small place.
Yep, sir.
And you guys have proved that we guys are not small. We guys are big.
Yeah.
And Birija, as a special thing, I would like to request you to, if whenever your time permits, if you can pay a visit to our campus here in Bhubaneswar. I presume you are based in Bhubaneswar?
No, we operate from Bangalore.
Oh, I see. Then that will be a bit tough. But anyway, whenever you're next in town, if you could take some time out to pay a visit to us at our
Absolutely,
campus,
sir. It will be my
and
pleasure.
physically address the students. It will be a great honor for all of us.
I really thank you, sir, for the appreciation. For the day I have got my ways. Thank you.
Our pleasure. I'm sure our pleasure of all of us here.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes. And then of course I'll make a point next time when I'll be at Bhubaneswar, I would definitely go to Biggest Burger. I don't eat burger much, but yes, after listening to it, and as you started, that's the Indian company making burgers. So definitely I would like to also give a try, and I would request all the students who are from Bhubaneswar campus, pay attention, pay visit to Biggest Burger and try that niche, try the difference. So thank you, Virja sir, and I would call you today. And once again, thanks a ton for your knowledge and for
here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Madhusmita. Thanks everyone. Thanks all the students. See you someday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'm stopping the recording.